I hope you're having a super fantastic sparkling day. Welcome to Porch Light Letters podcast number 2159, Sacred Simple Things. It's Sunday, it's R&R day. It's just a really cool day. So we thought we'd talk about sacred simple things today. This is an off-theme reflection, not one of our themed weeks. We've got tomorrow we start Brave Enough. Yeah, Brave Enough is our, I think it's Brave Enough, hang on. Yes, our theme starting tomorrow for the week is Brave Enough. But today we're doing an off-theme reflection called Sacred Simple Things. Sometimes the most sacred moments in life aren't big, loud, or dramatic. They're quiet, ordinary, easily missed if we're not paying attention. What it teaches us is sacred doesn't have to mean spiritual or formal. It can mean intentional. This, deciding to take a day off. You are having that and setting the intention that today you are taking the day off. You're putting down the electronics. You're just going to kick back and relax for the day. It's 115 degrees Fahrenheit outside today, or 45 degrees Celsius for my metric people. It's hot. So what did we do? We didn't even go. Well, we went outside for our walk this morning, and we'll do a walk this afternoon, but it means our walk this evening will be in triple digits for the Fahrenheit side of it. So it's going to be an uncomfortable walk. But hang on. Stop licking. Sorry, she's licking a piece of her leg that she's not supposed to be licking. What was I going to say? Yes, so we're just having a very intentional day today. The smallest rituals can ground us when life feels uncertain. Beauty and meaning often hide in the everyday. Simplicity is often the clearest path to connection with ourselves and others. We had groceries delivered today. We cleaned the kitchen today. We just the simple basic stuff in life. I was going to do laundry, but I thought about it too much. When I think about things too much, it doesn't get done. Even if I can picture myself picking up the basket, bringing it down to the laundry room, putting the laundry on and go through the whole imagery of it happening, I just look at the basket, turn around and walk out. I was not in the rhythm for doing laundry today. Maybe later on this evening. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But simplicity is often the clearest path to connection with ourselves and others. So today was R&R day. We've had a very busy week this week. It's been a very high stress week this week, being on seizure watch with Zeffie, because we've been switching her steroids over. Yesterday was the last of the 7 days of her getting her half a steroid tablet every day for 7 days. Now we're on to the half a steroid tablet every other day. But on top of that, she's also getting her the liquid steroid as well, twice a day. And she doesn't like the liquid stuff at all. It's meant to be chicken flavored. She can't stand the smell of it. She doesn't like it. A little bit of it got on my hand. I pointed it to it. She sniffed it and turned around and walked away. She was not having any part of it, none whatsoever. So we kind of have to slide it into the side of her mouth and squirt. She doesn't like it at all. But she's on that. We're on seizure watch to make sure that the transition goes smoothly, that it's not affecting her blood glucose levels. She's not eating as often as she was. She's had food in her bowl all day today, and she's barely touched it. Usually I feed her breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The breakfast is still sitting in her. Actually, I think it's dinner from last night. It's still sitting there. She ate some last night, but she hasn't really eaten a lot today, and I haven't given her any treats, trying to encourage her to eat her own food. But she's no problem begging for human food. Not happening. So it was just that putting the electronics away today and just spending that quality time with Zeffie and just getting in the flow and looking at the temperatures outside and going, we're not going to go outside today. Nope, not at all. It was already in the 80s, which is in the 30s for the Fahrenheit. For the Celsius people. We're already in the 80s Fahrenheit, 30s Celsius today when we went for our morning walk. So, yeah, we were in for a hot day. Tomorrow's meant to be even hotter. And we have an errand that we have to go and do tomorrow morning. So, yeah, it's hot. I don't like it when it's hot. But I do have one little irk from today. And I've been trying to find stuff because usually I leave a movie on when I go out. To run errands and stuff and leave Zeffie at home. Of course, I'm not leaving her at home at the moment while she's on seizure watch. But usually I put on a movie of some sort. And I was telling this about friends, and they said, just look for there's all these channels on YouTube that have all this music for dogs. And I says, yeah, the problem with those, they have ads. And they're like, oh, no, you can get ones that say no ads on them. BS. 4 different YouTube channels today. I went into them. It starts playing this beautiful, quiet, relaxing music and stuff. Zeph laying on the couch reading. Zeffie's laying on her couch stretched out sleeping. And all of a sudden, as an ad comes on. I am like, this is meant to be ad-free. Yeah, no. 4 different channels. 4. And I was like, so I found, and then I found one that I had been using when I went out with Zeph. When I went out, it was before she had the last vet visit. So the last time I left her in the house by herself, I actually found a channel that said no ads on it. So I put it on, went out, did the errands, came back home. It was still playing. We left it going for the rest of the day, and not one ad. I went back to that channel today. Every 20 minutes, there's an ad coming on. And it says it's a no ad channel. So I was sort of like, I don't know what's going on. So that was my little irk from today. Otherwise, and I was snoozing at one point when an ad burst into my snooze. It broke the rhythm of the nap. So I was not very impressed. But that was my little irk for today. Now I just got to take a deep breath and let it go. So what happens when you start to notice the ordinary moments that make you feel alive? You get that energy, you get that vibe coming in. When you slow down enough to savor the breathe or a pet sigh or a glow of a porch light, those are just the little moments that just encourage you to slow down and just have those little sacred moments throughout the day. You stop searching for big answers and instead let small joys guide you. Like, I cleaned the kitchen today. I got joy out of that, cleaning the kitchen. There's something satisfying because I like to keep a clean kitchen. I don't like dishes everywhere. I'm one of those people that when I am cooking or baking or everything, I'm cleaning as I go. So by the time whatever it is gets actually put on into the pots or into the oven or whatever, my kitchen is basically clean as just whatever I was just using before I put the stuff in that has to get cleaned. Everything else, like the ingredients, have already been put away. All the other stuff that we've used for mixing or whatever has already been washed and it's in the dish rack. Yeah, I don't like using dishwashers either. And there's just something when the kitchen is clean that just settles inside me, and I just go, it's just something about a clean kitchen. Yeah, I had it kind of messy for a little bit, but now it's so nice and clean. And stepping away from electronics for a day is always refreshing too. The brain gets a break. It's sort of like you get on, sometimes I'm sitting at the computer and it's sort of like, I really don't want to be on the computer today. I just want to turn it off and go away. But I'm working, so I have to. I don't have any option on this one right now. So, yeah. And then that evening will come and it's sort of like, do I really feel like watching TV tonight? No. So we'll put some music on and sit and read. Just something like that. It's just those little small things. You realize you already have access to calm, peace, and meaning. There's no permission needed. When you take a day off for rest and relaxation, or the sacred simple things, when you take time off for that, you don't need permission for it. You don't even need permission in some cases you do need permission to take time off, especially if you've got you're working, if you're a contractor working for a company, or you're an employee or something, you do need to ask for time off. There are those times, yes, but when it's on the weekend and you're done with the computer for the week, like you've had a very heavy, like I've had a very, very heavy computer week this week, more than I normally do. I've been in the office at like 7 o'clock in the morning, getting things done. I leave the office I'm forcing myself to leave the office before 5 o'clock to go and have an hour break before coming on here for the podcast. Even though then my time with Mailbox Power goes from 12 noon to 4 p.m. So I have an hour afterwards where I just get caught up I've got, I just got to do this one simple thing. And it turns into like an hour-long thing. I look at the clock and it's almost 5 o'clock, and I'm like, okay, we are done here for now. The podcast is set up, ready to go. We are done with everything. We're going to take a break from the office. And then after the podcast, it's sort of like we've got like another hour maybe before we go for a walk. So we go for a walk around 7:30 to try and get in the coolest part of the day when the sun has gone down behind the hills. So you still have the daylight to go walking, but you're not walking in the sunlight. It's just those little things. And then coming back from the walk and just like looking at the computer, going and sitting down, you got your laptop there, which you usually play on and all that sort of stuff. It's like, I don't want anything to do with any electronics. I'm not even going to watch TV tonight. I'm just going to sit here and read. And that's what I'll do. And it's, put some music on and just kick back and relax. How we carry forward is begin your day by noticing one thing that brings you quiet joy. Excuse me. Create a simple ritual that marks rest, reflection, or gratitude just for you. Let small things be enough. Let them matter. Yeah, you may not think it's a big thing, but when I get up every morning, I make the bed. I make my side of the bed. Zeffie's still stretched out on her side of the bed, so I have to wait for her to get off so I can because she has a bed on top of my bed, on her side of my bed. So I make my side of the bed, I go and have a shower, get dressed, brush my teeth, that sort of stuff. And then I come out and she may have moved from there. She may still be there. But as soon as she gets off her bed, I straighten up her bed so it's all nice and neat as well. And that's an accomplishment for the day. It's just a small thing, just something as small as making your bed. And there's that book that, what is it? By the guy that was the Navy SEAL. It's about making your bed every day. I remember I had a copy of the book, and we're in the RV. This is August 2019. We're in the RV tootling around doing our 3,227 miles in 27 days. And Mum and Dad were looking for something to read. And I had some books with me. And so I said to Mum and Dad, oh, you might like this one. This is a really cool book. And it's called something like Make Your Bed Every Day or something like that. I wish I could remember the name of it. And I'd picked it up on sale at Barnes & Noble for like $3 or something like that. I think it was like $3. And so my mum and dad read it. And then my dad at the end, he says, can we go to the bookstore and get another copy of this? Because he said, I've got some people at home who would like to read this. And I said, just take that one. I can get myself another one. It's not a problem. So I do have my other copy of it. It cost me the same because I knew exactly where it was in Barnes & Noble. And so my dad took that book back home to New Zealand with him. And I don't know how many people he gave it to read, but he just wanted to take that home because he knew some people back home that would be very interested in that book. It's just a very small book. It's a short book. I wish I could. It was a commencement speech that this retired. Was he retired? He was a Navy SEAL. Oh, I can see him in his white uniform he gave a commencement speech, and it's basically what this book was. And the other one I gave him was the last lecture by the guy who was a professor who passed from pancreatic cancer, and he gave this last lecture on his wife's birthday. I remember him bringing out the birthday cake afterwards, which was absolute. Randy, what was his name? Came with a P. Nope, that one's gone too. And I think they took that one back home with them as well. The cool part is that I'll soon be down there and they can come over, and I have a very extensive library. They can come over and borrow any books that are on my bookcase at any time that they want. And I have no problem with that. They can borrow books. I don't have an issue with that at all. Books are made to be read and shared. So sometimes it's just that little thing of making your bed. Could be that little small simple ritual that you do every single morning when you get up, you make your bed. There's just something satisfying about it. And it also makes the room look, even if there's stuff around the room, like I've got stuff scattered around the room because of all the sorting that I'm doing right now. So I've got stuff scattered around the room, but having that made bed makes the room look tidy, even if there is some boxes of stuff up against the wall that have to be sorted, and there's a pile of stuff to be donated over here, and there's a pile of stuff that we're keeping over here. Even though those piles are around the room, and when the bed's unmade, the room looks a mess. But you make that bed, and that stuff over there, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And the legacy side of things, think of things you inherited, not objects, but moments. Did someone model a quiet cup of tea, a handwritten note, a moment on the porch at dusk? Yeah. These become a part of our emotional lineage. So what are you passing down in that? My favorite time of the day when it is not hot is to sit out on the back patio with a cup of tea and my journal and just sit there in the quietness and listen. And if you get out there early enough in the morning, it can be cool enough, maybe. This morning it was in the 80s, so it was very uncomfortable out there. But just be able to sit down quietly with my journal on the porch. It's a patio out the back. I don't do it on the front porch because I can't really have Zeffie out there with me unless I have her on a long lead. So we go in the backyard. And we just sit there on the back porch and just relax in the day. Just have that quiet moment, that quiet time, that time of reflection. Great time to be journaling. Yeah, it's just those are the mornings that I love. If I'm on a cruise ship, I'm having a cup of tea out on the balcony. I have a balcony room. I have spent time in an ocean view room with just the window that doesn't open, and on an inside cabin where there is no window. And I much prefer a balcony because I like to be able to just sit out there in the mornings as we're maybe coming into a port. It may be a sea day. It doesn't matter. But just to sit out there and just reflect, and you get that beautiful, fresh ocean air. And it's just a great time to be out there on the balcony, just to sit, reflect, do some journaling, have a quiet moment or two. And then in the evenings, I like to sit out on the balconies in the evenings because I love watching the moon reflecting off the water as we're sailing along. It's just a magical moment. Or maybe at the time that I'm sitting out on the balcony, it could be just before I go down to dinner and we're leaving port. There's something special about being on a ship on the balcony as you leave port. There's just something special about it. And in the evenings when I come back, I get ready for bed, and I might sit out there in my PJs for a few minutes just before I go to bed, get some more sea breeze and that sort of thing before I go in. And I tell you, that fresh ocean air, it does something to you. It restores the soul. It just brings peace and calmness and a grounding. When you're out on the water, it's a way of grounding. When I'm on land, I like to squish my toes in the dirt and in the grass. I have gravel out back. So I'm looking forward to being back home in New Zealand where I can sit out in the back there with my feet on the grass and just scrunch the grass. And and where we're going to be living, it's a coastal town, so we're on the beach. So we get that fresh ocean breeze coming in. We get the grounding of the grass. It's going to be it's awesome. I'm so looking forward to having my back patio set up where I can go out there and journal and have my cup of tea in the morning and have that quiet thing. Just have that quiet time. Sometimes it's just cold water that I've got out there with me. So your reflection questions for today to go in your Porchlight Reflection Journal that you can get by scanning the QR code up here. I can't show you the pages in here because we're getting a little full. I need to get myself another one of these. Your reflection questions for today, and they are in the description below. What small, simple moment brought you peace this week? What's just one ordinary thing that one ordinary thing you do that actually feels sacred when you slow down? For me, it's those quiet moments where I get to sit and reflect and have some music playing and not getting distracted by electronics. Yeah, just the simple things. What simple ritual would you love to pass down? The simple ritual I would love to pass down is taking that pause in the morning and in the evening of sitting outside on the back porch or the front porch, just sitting somewhere and just listening to the world wake up or listening to the world settling down for the night. Those are my favorite times of the day, dusk and dawn. Dawn and dusk. Yeah, dawn in the morning, dusk in the evening. Those are my favorite times of the day because it's a very good grounding moment for me. So those are the times that I love, but not in this heat. In this heat, I stay inside with the AC. Now, there has been time based on the heat, although this is too hot to do it today. If it's around 100 degrees, 38 degrees Celsius, then I will go and sit out on the back porch as long as the sun's not on it, as long as it's in the shade. And if there's a breeze blowing, we've got a breeze blowing tonight, that hot air just circulating around, there's just something about that. And there's been a number of times during the day when I go take my 10-minute break in the afternoon where I've gone and sat out there for a couple of minutes just to get some fresh air and almost fallen asleep. It's just so restful and peaceful and quiet back there. Everybody else is at work. off doing their things. The kids are not in the pool, so although now it's summer vacation, there's kids in the pool and that sort of stuff. But usually at that time of the day, everybody's inside anyway. And as our closing thought, so find that sacred moment for you. When is that sacred time for you? Is it in the morning before everybody in the house wakes up, where you just take yourself, your cup of tea, your cup of coffee, your glass of juice, your glass of water, whatever it is that you start your day with, and you just go and sit outside, or you've got a little area that you've set aside as, this is my quiet spot. And you just take time for yourself at that time before you get caught up in the busyness of the day. It's a great way to start the day. Sometimes you might do some stretches as well, do some meditation. You never know. You just go with the flow in that moment. That's all. Just go with the flow. And in closing, you don't need more. You just need to notice what's already there. The sacred is in the simple, and the simple is enough. And with that, we are out of here. Go out, have a super fantastic, sparkling evening, and we will be back tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. Pacific, because it is Monday. I have my LinkedIn, my AI class on tomorrow night, so I will be here.